On this particular engine, they set the engine up real loose. They got a lot of clearance inside the engine. So what normally would be an indication of problems in this case can really make some horsepower for you. Speaking of making horsepower, straight as an arrow, Richard Leek, a good run going down for the Jack Daniels Special.
291.08 for Mark Hare. And J&D, that's a new paint design on that machine. The Jack Daniels is going to move into the top 5, but not going to get a win here in Fishersville. Let's get the word from Mark Hare with Army.
What about the run you just made? Looked awfully good. The track looks to be coming around. I believe there's about 7 more vehicles behind you.
Not too bad. Act like the front end kind of got a little heavy down here at the other end there. Maybe, you know, ran into some ruts or something, but wasn't too bad. I sure like to cross that 300-foot line, though.
What about the first 50 or 60 feet out there tonight?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought I got off the line fairly good there, and I just thought I lost it a little bit down here at the other end, but we'll make some other adjustments for the other truck. We'll be back.
So our lead distance remains at 298.04. That is held by the Dodge of Jim Brockman out of New Haven, Indiana. But we still have some more great pullers to come onto the track. But right now, let's move on over to Army Armstrong for this week's Question of the Week.
This question of the week about the Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series comes from Joseph Theriault out of Albany, Oregon. Now, Joseph asked why two-wheelers can't be steered through a clutch system in the rear wheels rather than a brake system. Ken Lamont has a similar system.
Joseph, the Plano Toolbox team has something close to what you're asking about. We've got a clutch system built into our rear end. And what the clutch system does, it locks up both of our rear wheels so that when we take off the line, it gives us much better hole shot with both rear wheels turning exactly the same. Now, if our front end comes up in air and it gets to drifting to the left or the right, I hit an air toggle switch here that unlocks this clutch system, which enables me to use both foot brakes to either go to the left or go to the right and correct itself.
And if you have a question of the week about the Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series, just mail it to TNT Motorsports, 5515 Poplar Park Boulevard, Louisville, Kentucky, 40228. And if we use your question on ESPN, you'll receive a free TNT Motorsports hat.
Well, we are about halfway through this two-wheel drive competition. Things may be a little nippy for the fans, but they're going to heat up on the track in just a couple of minutes. As still to come, Art Hathaway's Honkin' Donkey, Jim Brockman's Chevy C-Cab, and Dave Walsh's Irish Challenger. More great action on the track right around the corner on Power Tracks. The distance to beat is 298.04. Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Leek, along with Army Armstrong. It's the Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series from Fishersville, Virginia. Up next to the line, Art Hathaway, the Honkin' Donkey Ford. He's out of Washington, Pennsylvania, and he is a good one.
Well, this chassis, Richard, is exactly, or the frame, is exactly the same as the Jack Daniels Special that Hare drove a moment ago. Now, I'll guarantee you he was watching every little move that Hare made with the Jack Daniels Special. He's made adjustments to this truck. Let's see what he learned on it. Hathaway comes to the sport. He, at one time, was very heavily involved in the mini power rod division. He stepped up to the two-wheel drive competition, and he's definitely a player. He runs awfully good, awfully strong. Look at this. He's got some ground speed, Richard Leek. A good run, pulling late in the field.
Not going to be good enough, no. 279.27 for the Honkin' Donkey of Art Hathaway, and it looked like toward the end of the pull, Army, the weight not set right on the truck.
Well, what happens is you've got to remember you're constantly under more strain when you're in this sport. It's not like it in an Africa race where as the laps go by, you don't have to deal with them. Constantly in this sport, that weight box from this point forward, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. That's why it's so important to get your weight set on the truck. You notice the front end bounce a little bit. You want to walk it right about there, about 6 inches up. You get too high, and it changes the pulling angle, puts more pull on the truck itself, and that's what pulls them down.
And now we're going to see our current leader, Jim Brockman, bring his second vehicle out here. It's the Chevy C-Cab, and Jim would like to beat his original distance of 298.04, go 1 and 2.
Well, Brockman said after his run that somebody would make a full pull. They have not done it. The track has not done what the drivers thought it would do. Brockman is doing something unique. Can you tell what it is, Richard? He is the only puller that is coming out and working at left side of the track, as far as I can tell.
It worked for him before, and it looks like it's working for him again.
Whoa, like a
Brockman. 293.98. That is going to put him number 1 and number 2.
That's not bad when you only bring 2 trucks to set first and second. Brockman has got the Fishersville track figured out.
So Jim Brockman out of New Haven, Indiana, the Hoosier State, a well-known state for great pullers. He is currently sitting number 1 and number 2.
Jim, you're in a situation everybody kind of like to be in. You seem to be dominating this class tonight.
Well, you know, there's nights when you concentrate hard and things just kind of go your way, and this happens to be our time, I guess.
Well, we talked to you a moment ago, earlier in the class, you said there was going to be some other fellas that could come and play hardball with you, but the odds are definitely getting in your favor now. We're getting down towards the end of this class. There's not that much heat sitting back there.
No, and it's kind of surprising. Some of the good trucks that you've seen run already have just had bad problems. Things just haven't gone their way tonight, and that happens. You know, it's just you got to take the good with the bad in this deal.
Now, Jim Brockman's smiling because he is currently number 1 and number 2 here tonight. Coming up next is going to be Ray Carpenter, the Sundance kid. Now, Ray is the current national points leader after one event. That event held in Nashville, Tennessee. Earlier today, Army spent time introducing you to Ray Carpenter and his race team out of Iowa.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
8-year semi-puller. There again, you know, we're like anybody always looking for a new challenge, so we got into the 2-wheel drive with Red Man, and we're in it for the money, the mucho dinero. That's what it's about here.
Standing behind us has got to be one of the most fantastic pieces of equipment used to get your equipment up and down the highway, that being your hauler. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Ray?
Well, yes, we did it mostly for the convenience of getting to and from the pull. We didn't want to get to the pull and really be tired or beat to death road weary-wise, but we put this thing together, 72.5 on the footage long, and it's a 3408 Caterpillar, twin turbocharged. We put a few extra horses in it because of our semi days, and 600 or 700 horses. New sleeper we put on is all air ride, 145 inches long with the 25-inch wings and 102 wide. It's got air ride. We've got it set up probably pretty much like your living room, TV, VCR, with the refrigerator, the running water. There again, it's just convenience and a lot of miles you have to travel to do these